What's up, Chaos Shinobi here. This is what if Naruto masters forgotten Uzumaki Dojutsu. Summary: after unlocking a forgotten doujutsu long thought lost by the Uzumaki that would put the sharingan and byakugan to shame. Watch and see Naruto become the ultimate shinobi. Chapter 7. Next day, graduation day. Today was the day. Today was the day that Naruto finally gets to become a shinobi for Konohagakure no Sato. Naruto worked hard to get to this point through blood, sweat, and tears. The time was finally here. It was time for him to show to his comrades and the villagers he wasn't a demon and show how far he will go to such lengths to protect the village. The village that his father and mother gave their lives for, which he would do if the time comes. It was early morning, 2 hours before the academy begun. Naruto was already awake and standing in the middle of training ground 9. There was a gust of wind and Naruto closed his eyes, lifting his head up just a tad and let the breeze blow through his blonde hair. Why was he standing in the middle of training ground 9 and doing this? He was reminiscing about all the long hours, all the hard work he put training with Kakashi and Tenzo at the training ground. When the breeze stopped, Naruto opened his eyes and took one last look at the training ground he had spent 6 years training at and made his way towards the academy. While he was making his way to the academy, the villagers gave him strange looks as if they didn't recognize him. Naruto couldn't help but not keep the smirk that gradually graced his lips. It was a good feeling that they didn't recognize him and grateful of Kakashi getting his new wardrobe, because if they did notice him, they would have tried to foolishly apprehend him to not get a shot at graduating the academy. Hey, keyword tried. Even though he will protect the villagers once he becomes a shinobi, but he wasn't one yet and he will protect himself and he was not going to let the villagers bully him anymore. The smirking blonde, deciding not to walk anymore, decided to shine to the academy. With that said, he left in a swirl of wind and the blonde was gone with no trace of him being there. Naruto was in front of the academy and started making his way towards Iruka's class. Naruto didn't need to be there for another hour, but he was just excited of becoming a shinobi. He just couldn't help but be early. Naruto opened the door to the classroom and he saw Iruka at his desk probably grading some papers or something. Iruka looked up and saw a blonde with 2 bangs framing his face with a blood-colored red cloak with black flames coming from the bottom of his cloak and his sleeves. Iruka looked at the boy who had a lot of similarities to their deceased Hokage, Yondaime. Iruka looked at the boy with calculating eyes, and one distinctive feature he saw on the look-alike Yondaime were whisker marks. Whiskers? Then it finally clicked. And Naruto? Asked Iruka with a perplexed look. Naruto grinned ear to ear and Naruto replied, the one and only, Iruka-sensei. Naruto couldn't help but sweat drop as he saw Iruka put his hand in the tiger seal and repeated over and over, Kai, release, Kai, Kai. Why won't this genjutsu dispel? You can't be Naruto, yelled a shocked Iruka. And why would you say that, Iruka-sensei? Asked a confused Naruto. I mean, sure, he did change his attire, but he wouldn't have thought that Iruka would do this. You're early. An hour early, yelled Iruka, making Naruto face fault. I'm not that bad. Naruto fired back, which in return gave Iruka a tick mark. Naruto, you have the worst attendance and tardies in this academy's history. I'm even surprised you get a chance to pass the academy today. But Hokage-sama was rather insistent that I gave you a chance, so I am. I was actually about to leave to go get you to make sure you were here on time so you didn't get another tardy on your last day. I'm just tempted to pass you so I don't have to deal with you or your tardiness next year. But since you were here, you saved me some time to actually get some paperwork done. So I'll see you in a little bit. Oh, and before I leave, Mizuki should be here in 15-20 minutes. Also, please do not do any pranks while I'm gone, or at all for that matter. Asked Iruka with a pleading voice. I promise I won't do any pranks today, Iruka-sensei. You have my word. Naruto replied and received a thankful nod in return by Iruka. Okay, well, I'll see you later, Naruto. I should be back before class begins. With that said, Iruka left with a stack of papers in his hand and walked out the door. Naruto looked around the empty classroom and decided to sit in the back of the class. Naruto was excited. Today was the day. No more sitting through Iruka's boring lectures, even though he was hardly there. And now he gets to go on missions. He knew he had to go on D ranks to start off, but that's what Kage Bushin was for. While Naruto was waiting for class to begin, he saw his fellow classmates started filing in, either one by one or some in groups. Also, like usual, the brooding king aka Uchiha Sasuke walked in with his horde of his fangirls in tow. And true to Iruka's word, Mizuki showed up 20 minutes later. About 5 minutes after Mizuki showed up, Iruka came into the classroom. After about 10 minutes, everyone was at the academy and Iruka began roll call. Hello everyone, class is in. Iruka stopped in mid-sentence after he noticed he didn't have his students' attention. Iruka cleared his throat, cracked his neck and back before using his jutsu that he created himself, the big-headed no jutsu. Silence, Iruka yelled and inwardly patted himself on the back, seeing that everyone seemed to quiet down and were paying full attention towards himself. After everyone quieted down, Iruka started roll call and going through the names on his list until he reached Naruto. "Uzumaki Naruto," said Iruka. Naruto raised his hand and replied, "Here." Everyone in class jaws dropped, well, most had their jaws dropped. Some of the girls in the class had small blushes grace their faces. Was that really Naruto? It couldn't be. "What are you all staring at?" asked a confused Naruto. "You're actually here? You're on time. You're not wearing that horrid orange jumpsuit anymore," were most of the replies he received from his fellow classmates. Which in return, Naruto could only sweat drop. "Alright, enough. Today, as you know, is the Sharingan graduation exams. There are two parts to the exam. The first is the written exam consisting of basic knowledge you should know of being a shinobi. The second and the last part of the exam is the ninjutsu portion, which consists of 3 basic academy jutsu. Any questions?" When he received none, he passed out the papers for the written exam. "Okay, you have 30 minutes to complete the written portion. After the 30 minutes are up, I will call time and you will stop writing. You will hand me your test and sit back down and wait to be called for the ninjutsu portion of the exam. After your name is called, you will go to classroom across the hall where Mizuki and I will conduct the ninjutsu portion of the exam. Once you pass, or if you pass, you will receive a Konoha Hitai-8. After you receive your Hitai-8, you may leave, but you must be back here in 2 days for team placements, at 8 in the morning sharp. And that means you as well, Naruto. That is all, you may begin." Finished Iruka and was pleased to hear pencil hitting paper after he finished. Naruto looked at his test and saw that the test was on basic knowledge of being a shinobi like Iruka said. While Naruto was writing his answers to the questions on his test, he felt as if someone was watching him. Naruto looked up from his test and looked around the room. He saw his sensei Mizuki eyeing him down with an evil smirk, which unnerved Naruto. "Why is he staring at me like that? Whatever, I'll look into it later," Naruto thought to himself. Naruto continued with his test before he was finished with 5 minutes to spare. Naruto answered enough of them right so he could pass the written portion. He didn't want to answer all of them right because he was still keeping his mask up until he graduated. He promised Kakashi, so he will keep his mask up for now. After the 30 minutes were up, Iruka called time. Everyone in class stood up and gave their test sheets to Iruka and sat back down and awaited for the last portion of the exams to begin. Iruka began calling out names, and one by one the shinobis in training went to the room across the hall for the last portion of the exam. Naruto was the last name to be called. "It's time." Finally, Naruto stood from where he was sitting and made his way to the room across the hall. Naruto opened the door and saw Iruka and Mizuki sitting at a long rectangular desk. Iruka smiled at Naruto and said, "Are you ready, Naruto?" and he received a nod in return. "Okay, the first jutsu I want you to perform is the Kawarimi no Jutsu," said Iruka as he threw a chalkboard eraser at Naruto's head. There was a poof of smoke and there was log that was laying where Naruto once stood. Naruto appeared from the window that was in the classroom with a grin on his face. "Great job. Okay, next is Hench no Jutsu," said Iruka with hope in his eyes that Naruto might actually pass. Naruto nodded without using hand seals, which Iruka noticed as well as Mizuki. Naruto henged into a perfect replica of the Sun Daime Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen. Mizuki, seeing what was happening, he mentally seethed. Damn it! What is going on? He could never do these techniques last week. If he passes, what am I going to do about the Fun no Sho, Scroll of Seals? Maybe I can still find a different way to trick him into getting it for me. Fantastic. Now Naruto, the last and final one I'll like for you to perform is the Bushin no Jutsu. The minimum number of bushins I would like for you to do is 2, Iruka said. Naruto inwardly groaned. Why did it have to be a regular bushin? Oh well, time to give a shot. Bushin no Jutsu. There was a small smoke cloud. When the smoke cleared, it revealed a clone of some sort that looked half dead and pale as can be. Even its clothes were pale, laying next to the original Naruto, who was crying anime tears. Or maybe not, thought Mizuki. Iruka face faulted and Mizuki had a menacing grin that went unnoticed by Iruka but not Naruto. Damn it! It seems I still can't perform the bushin. Iruka, do you mind if I do a different bushin? Asked Naruto, looking at Iruka pick his face off the ground. Literally. Yes, you may, replied Iruka, who was praying to Kami that Naruto passes. Mizuki raised an eyebrow. The only other bushin he knows about was the Kage Bushin no Jutsu, Naruto said, which shocked Iruka that Naruto knew a B-ranked kinjutsu that could possibly kill some jounin. There was a puff of smoke. When it cleared, there was 10 replicas of Naruto standing there with grins that threatened to split their face. Iruka's face was gaping like a fish, but he soon snapped out of it and threw Naruto a Hitai-8, which he caught and said happily, "You pass." Congratulations Naruto. We will see you in 2 days' time for team placements. Naruto smirked and wrapped the Hittite around his forehead, letting his bangs fall from the sides and frame his face. He was a shinobi of the leaf and he was going to represent Konoha proudly. While Naruto made his way out the door, he caught a glimpse of Mizuki glaring at him. Naruto just shrugged it off like he would do with the villagers outside the academy. Naruto made his outside the academy with a grin and his arms resting around his head, showing off his Hittite proudly. Naruto saw his fellow classmates outside being congratulated by their parents and other family members. The grin on Naruto's face slowly turning into a frown once he saw that nobody was there to congratulate him. No father, no mother, or no family. Naruto just started to walk, where he didn't know. Naruto passed the parents and their children that passed the Sharingan exams, and there they were again. The whispers and the hateful glares. How could they let that thing become a shinobi? That damn demon. Maybe we will all be lucky enough that he will die on a mission. Look at that. No one came to congratulate the demon. Humph. Figures no one cares for the damn thing anyway. The comments just kept coming into Naruto's enhanced senses. He heard every single one of them. Once Naruto was out of sight, he shine away. The only other person who saw and heard everything was Mizuki, who smirked and had one thought on his mind. Gotcha. Now all I have to do is convince him and the Fu no Sho will be mine, thought Mizuki, leaving in a swirl of leaves. Once Mizuki left, the crowd of people burst into a puff of smoke as if they were never there. With Naruto atop the Hokage monument, Naruto was sitting on top of the fourth's head looking over the village, the frown still ever present on his face. Naruto continued looking over the village for about another 10 minutes before a voice broke him out his sulking. "What's wrong, Naruto?" a familiar voice said. Naruto didn't need to turn around, already knowing who it was. "What do you want, Mizuki-sensei?" replied Naruto dryly. "Well, I came here to congratulate you on passing the Sharingan exam and becoming a Sharingan. It's probably really hard not having parents to congratulate you on this special occasion. Especially with all the villagers giving you a hard time," said Mizuki with a reassuring smile and taking a seat on the ground next to Naruto. Naruto narrowed his eyes at his sensei and replied, "What are you getting at, Mizuki?" "I'm not getting at nothing. I just wanted to say congratulations since no one did besides Iruka and I. There is something I would like to ask you though," Mizuki said, gaining Naruto's attention. "Yeah, and what is that?" replied Naruto, looking back over the village. "Why haven't you tried to get revenge against the villagers that seem to spite you for even the simplest thing such as breathing?" Mizuki asked, gaining the blonde's full attention. Naruto shrugged and laid down with his arms behind his head and looked at all the puffy white clouds in the beautiful blue sky. "I don't know. If I just started getting revenge on everybody I saw or who treated me wrong, there wouldn't be much of a village left, and I'm not strong enough to do that." Mizuki inwardly smirked and thought, hook, line and sinker. Now to reel him in. "What if I told you there was a way for you to get this power and strength to get back at all the people who wrong your whole life?" said Mizuki. "Okay, I'm listening," replied Naruto, which he received a sadistic grin in return that didn't go unnoticed by Naruto. "Now I'm only going to tell you this once. In the Hokage Tower there is a scroll called Fu no Sho. The scroll is on an altar in the 2 doors down from the Hokage's office. Inside of said scroll are powerful kinjutsu. With these kinjutsus we could bring down all of the elemental nations if we absolutely wanted to. And most importantly, your revenge against the villagers that you so happily crave," Mizuki said, standing up with a menacing smirk on his face. "Okay, but if we do this we will have to meet up somewhere and leave the village. Once they find out, they will be after us as long as it takes to get that scroll back from what you said it contains. So what time do you want me to steal the Fu no Sho and where should we meet up?" asked Naruto with a determined look on his visage. "Here. This will tell you what time and a map where we will meet up at. It's a small shack just a little ways outside the village walls. Be there by 2 in the morning and we will leave this kami-forsaken village." "Once I get there," said Mizuki, and received a nod in return. With that said, Mizuki left in a swirl of leaves, but he never noticed the smirk that gradually graced his lips. Naruto looked around to make sure Mizuki was nowhere to be found. Naruto said, "Did you get all that, Hokage Oji-san and Kakashi Oni-san?" asked Naruto out loud after he finished. There were 2 puffs of smoke. When it cleared, it revealed Sarutobi Hiruzen and Hitake Kakashi. Kakashi and Hiruzen nodded and made their way to Naruto. "Yes, we did, Naruto. I can't believe Mizuki would betray Konoha in such a way like this," said the aged Hokage in clear shock. "Hokage-sama, what should you have us do? Do you want us to subdue Mizuki and bring him in for questioning? Or do?" Kakashi was cut off by Hiruzen raising his hand for him to stop. Hiruzen sighed and replied, "Naruto will continue out with Mizuki's plan and Naruto will subdue him. Naruto, it's time to put Kakashi's teachings to the test and see how far you've grown." Kakashi, you will watch from the shadows and assist Naruto if he needs it, or if there is more of my shinobi that decided to become traitors of this village along with Mizuki. This is a rank capture and subdue mission. Naruto, can you handle this? Asked Hiruzen with a serious expression on his face that showed failure was not an option. Hiruzen knew of Naruto's capabilities and knew he could do it. Besides being trained by some of his best jounin in the village for 6 years, he had no doubt in his mind that Naruto could defeat and subdue Mizuki. Hi, Hokage-sama. This is my first mission as a Konoha shinobi, and with my nindo on the line I will not fail. Replied Naruto, which he received a grandfatherly smile and I smile in return. What time does he want you to steal the Fun no Sho, Naruto? Asked Kakashi. Naruto opened up the paper slip that Mizuki gave to him and replied he wants me to start the operation at 10 at night and he wants us to meet up at a shack west of the village walls. It's about an hour from the Hokage Tower. So I would have to wait 3 hours for him to get there. What the hell am I supposed to do for 3 hours? Naruto said in frustration, which he received a I smile in return. You could just pretend that you are waiting for me if you want. I'm normally 3 hours late, so it shouldn't be too hard, Kakashi said, and received a glare in return by said blonde. Maybe I could learn a jutsu out of the scroll while I wait, Hokage Oji-san? Asked an excited Naruto, which received a sigh in return. I wouldn't recommend doing that, Naruto. We will see you at 10 tonight, alright? Hiruzen didn't let Naruto get a chance to argue and left in a swirl of leaves along with Kakashi. Naruto pouted for a second before a smile crept to his face. Hey, he said he wouldn't recommend doing it. He didn't give me a direct order. So I know what I'm going to do for those 3 hours. Who has 2 thumbs and gets to train out of the Fun no Sho? Yeah, you know it, this guy, Naruto said with a shit-eating grin and left in a swirl of wind. 2 in the morning outside of Konoha's walls. Naruto was breathing heavy on his hands and knees with the Fun no Sho laying out in front of him. Naruto had trained for the past 3.5 hours with the complex kinjutsu out of the scroll, which were a lot harder than Naruto would have liked, but he still learned a new jutsu he thought would come in handy. Naruto smiled to himself with the accomplishment of learning a kinjutsu in a little over than 3 hours, but he was cut out of his musings by a voice. Do you copy, Naruto? Asked Kakashi through his earpiece. Yes, I'm ready. Is he almost here? Asked Naruto through his. He should be there within the next minute. Remember to ask him what we told you. We need to know who is after the scroll specifically, and we would also like to know if there are any others working with or for him. He's here, I got your back if you need it. Replied Kakashi, who was waiting to strike if Naruto needed him. This was Naruto's mission and it was time to see if he can handle his own against other trained shinobi. Kakashi knew Naruto wasn't going to lose knowing Naruto, but it was better to be safe than sorry. Copy, Naruto whispered to Kakashi while tying the Fun no Sho to his back and awaited for Mizuki to arrive. About 10 seconds later Mizuki appeared on a branch overhead. Mizuki had shoulder-length white hair with a slight hint of blue. He had green eyes and wore the standard attire of a chunin and wore his Hittite bandana style. He also had 2 overly large shurikens on his back. Were you followed? Asked Naruto, gaining Mizuki's attention. No, but I'm actually surprised you could steal the scroll without anyone noticing, said a surprised Mizuki. Well, I can thank my pranks on that one. It taught me to become really good at stealth and hide my presence quite easily after a while. I even gave the Anbu the slip multiple times even when wearing my orange jumpsuit. Replied Naruto with a smirk on his face, remembering all the pranks he did when he was younger. I guess that came in handy, didn't it? Okay, toss me the scroll and let's head out before anyone notices the scroll missing, said Mizuki, holding out his hand waiting for Naruto to toss him the scroll. Naruto took the scroll off his back and was about to throw it to him, but before he did he asked, I have a question. Before we go, I would like to know where we are going after this. Mizuki let out a frustrated sigh and replied, we are going to Otogakure to meet someone there. And I'm assuming we will be giving this scroll to them when we get there. Do you mind if I ask who? Asked Naruto, examining Mizuki, and saw he was getting more and more frustrated with Naruto as time passed. What's with all the questions? If you must know, it is one of the legendary Sannin, Orochimaru. He will give me what I have most craved for the longest time since I was your age, power. Uncontrollable power. Replied Mizuki, losing his patience while holding out his hand again, and replied, now, give me the scroll and let's go. Okay, but let me ask one more question. Is there more shinobi we're meeting up with us, or someone from our village or another village? Naruto asked again and making Mizuki furious. No. Now give me the damn scroll before I'll kill you myself, yelled Mizuki, losing his cool and holding out his hand again. Okay, geez, stop getting mad, for crying out loud. Oh, and one more thing before we go, you might want to take a look behind you, said Naruto with fox-like smirk on his face. Mizuki turned just in time to get a bone-crushing punch to the face that sent him flying in the opposite direction by said fist. Before he could crash into something, there was a black chain with red kunai-like spikes that shot out the ground and wrapped itself around Mizuki's waist. It twirled him around before throwing him back to the place where he was dealt the bone-crushing punch. Mizuki saw Naruto jump in the air above him before being heel-kicked in the face and plummeted to the ground below, creating a small crater where he landed. Naruto landed gracefully on his feet and waited for Mizuki to pick himself off the ground. "That actually hurt, you damn demon," replied Mizuki while standing up on wobbly legs with blood coming out of his mouth. Mizuki spat out some of the blood that was in his mouth and said, "It's too bad you have to die tonight. I was going to kill you on our way to Atagakour, but I guess right now is better than any," said Mizuki while taking off one of his giant shuriken and jumping up to one of the nearest tree branches above. Mizuki started to spin it in his hand and threw it at Naruto. Naruto stood there with a blank face, and before the shuriken could reach him, a chakra chain shot out of the ground and went through the handle of the shuriken and threw it back with the same velocity. Naruto went through a set of hand seals and yelled out, "Shuriken Kage Bushin no Jutsu. Shuriken Shadow Clone Technique." The one overly large shuriken turned into 8 and headed for Mizuki, who had a look of shock ever present on his face of what happened but recovered quickly. He wasn't a chunin for nothing, jumping out of the way of the shurikens that threatened to tear him into pieces, which instead tore away the tree he threw the shuriken from. Poor tree. After Mizuki was out of harm's way, Naruto was already pressing him back with little difficulty. Mizuki tried his best at defending against Naruto, but he was relentless. Mizuki noticed that Naruto was going for pressure points to disable his limbs, which luckily Mizuki dodged just in the nick of time on most, but once he dodged he would get hit in the face, ribs, or stomach for his troubles. Mizuki jumped back and stopped about 25 yards away from the young blonde. Mizuki was barely standing on his 2 feet, and if looks could kill, Naruto would have been dust. "What the hell are you?" asked the beaten and bruised chunin. "Who, me? Uzumaki Naruto, we met before, right?" asked Naruto with a nonchalant look. "Don't play games with me. You can't be that demon. Someone as worthless as him, who is nobody or who nobody likes, could be this strong. I should have killed you already, but I haven't even laid a finger on you. You were the dead last to nobody. But how? I don't understand. I should have this power, not you," yelled Mizuki, taking a kunai out of his kunai pouch. Making his last-ditch effort, which he tried to kill the blonde Kyubi Jinchuriki. Keyword tried. Naruto looked at Mizuki with cold, hardened eyes that showed no compassion, no sympathy, no fear, just coldness. "Worthless, I'll show him who is truly worthless," thought Naruto. Mizuki smirked after he saw he was mere inches away from Naruto's throat with his kunai. 8 inches. 6 inches. 3 inches. 1 inch. Before Mizuki could celebrate, there was only one thing he heard, just one simple word. "Boom," Naruto said before blowing up in a small explosion. It was a head-on explosion, so Mizuki took the brunt of the force. Mizuki was sent flying back and impacted into a tree that left a crater in said tree, before sliding to the ground unconscious. Mizuki was smoking with singes all over his body. That jutsu could have killed him if he put more chakra into the clone. Naruto stepped out behind a tree and put a chakra suppression seal on the smoking man. Literally. "Ha, worthless, you should look in the mirror, pal. But if I were you, I would wait like a couple weeks, cause you look like you came from hell and back. Hey, I need to write that one down. That was a good one," finished Naruto, taking out a scroll and put Mizuki in a containment seal so he couldn't escape even if he tried to. Naruto heard clapping and looked at his sensei of 6 years that was like a big brother to him. "That was amazing, Naruto. That was an excellent use of the Bushin Daibakuwa. Especially, that you just learned how to use the technique. You did well on your first mission as a Jonin. I am proud to be called your sensei," said his Lizzie sensei and brother in everything but blood. "Let's go and give a report to Hokage-sama." Once he received a nod in return, Kakashi put his hand on Naruto's shoulder and they both left in a swirl of leaves. Hokage Tower 15 minutes after 3. "Excellent job, Naruto. Even though you didn't listen to me and still looked in the Fun no show, I'll let it pass. You did well, and as a reward your payment for AA rank mission," said the aged Hokage with a proud smile on his visage and handed the blonde Jonin an envelope. Naruto looked inside of it and gaped like a fish. There was enough money in here to go on a 3-month eating spree at Ichiraku's. He wasn't going to do that, but be responsible with his earnings he received. "Thanks, Hokage Oji-san. Not to sound rude or anything, but can I go home and rest? I'm tired as hell," asked Naruto and received a grandfatherly laugh in return. "Of course you can, Naruto. Kakashi and I will finish up here while you go rest. Remember to take your photo for your Shinobi ID card tomorrow afternoon," replied Hiruzen. "How could I forget? Well, anyway, I'll catch you guys later," Naruto said, leaving in a swirl of wind. After Naruto left, Hiruzen looked at Kakashi before asking, do you know what are my two greatest decisions I've ever made as Hokage up till now, Kakashi? Kakashi raised his lone eyebrow and asked, no, what are they, Hokage-sama? Hiruzen let a small smile grace his lips before replying, one of them was, stepping down as Hokage and chose Minato to become my successor. And the other, Hokage-sama? Asked Kakashi with an interested look. The other one is that I let you become Naruto's sensei. Naruto was so lonely as a child, but you saved him from that, Kakashi. You became a brother-like figure to him, you trained him, and took him under your wing. Now look at him, you have trained him into an excellent shinobi. I am proud to say that was my greatest decision as Hokage up till this point. Kakashi smiled and replied, thank you, Hokage-sama. No, Kakashi-san, thank you. Chapter 18 Placements. 2 days later at the academy. Everyone that was in the academy were bustling with excitement. Today was team placements and Naruto couldn't help but smirk. No more holding back. No more of keeping up the facade of being the dead last. It was time for him to show his true potential. Naruto looked around the classroom and noticed that Iruka was still not there. He was probably being informed about Mizuki's betrayal to Konoha by Hiruzen. He felt sorry for Iruka knowing that Mizuki was a good friend of his, but that was the life as a shinobi. There were always traitors, and they could quite possibly be your best friend, brother, sister, father, or even your mother. That's the reality of being a shinobi that have to live with. Naruto's musings were interrupted by the door being swung open by Sasuke's biggest two fangirls, Haruno Sakura and Yamanaka Ino. Sigh. It was the same thing every day. Ha! I win, Ino pig. I get to sit next to Sasuke-kun. Screeched Sakura with her fist pumped into the air, which received a glare from Ino. The only way you would have won was because of that forehead of yours, and you didn't win. I did. So I get to sit next to Sasuke-kun. Forehead, Ino yelled, which received a growl in return from Sakura. What was that, Ino pig? Oh, you heard me, forehead. Sakura and Ino said while glaring about a foot away from each other. Everyone in the room could have sworn they saw electricity spark between the two of them. While they were having their little stare down, all the other fangirls decided to step in and say how they were there first, so they should sit next to their Sasuke-kun. Naruto let out an exasperated sigh. Didn't they know there were 2 seats next to their precious Sasuke-kun? Before anything could get out of line, Iruka walked in and quieted everyone down using his signature jutsu, big-headed no jutsu. Good morning, everyone. Today is the day that you all begin your life and career as a shinobi for your village, Kanagaku no Sato. I am proud that I was your sensei and looking forward to where your shinobi careers take you. I am proud of all of you. Especially you, Naruto. Iruka kept that last part to himself but glanced at Naruto, who was staring out the window before Naruto looked to the front the class. Ahem. Without further ado, team placements. Team 1 is. Iruka called out most of the civilians to be placed in teams 1 through 6 until the 7th team. Team 7 will consist of Haruno Sakura, which the pink-haired girl perked up at hearing her name called, Uchiha Sasuke. And like usual, Sasuke was looking out the window acting like he didn't hear Iruka call out his name. Before Iruka called the next name, Sakura jumped out of her seat with her fist held high, claiming true love conquers all or some type of bullshit like that. And Iruka gave Sakura like she was stupid or something before he continued. Uzumaki Naruto. Shit, thought Naruto. Your Jonin sensei will be Hatake Kakashi. Well, that's not too bad. At least Nisan is still my sensei. After Naruto thought that he felt someone staring at him. Turning his head to the right, he saw the quiet and shy Hyuga heiress, who had a sad look on her face before looking away, sporting a blush on her face. Cute, thought Naruto. Team 8 will consist of Aburame Shino, Hyuga Hinata, and Inuzuka Kiba. Your Jonin sensei will be Yuhi Kurenai. Team 9 is still in circulation. Team 10 will consist of Akimichi Kuji, Nara Shikamaru, and Yamanaka Ino. Your Jonin sensei will be Sarutobi Asuma. After Iruka named all the teams, Shikamaru and Kuji fist bumped. Ino complained about being on the same team with the lazy Nara and the chubby Akimichi, which said Nara had to hold back Kuji from clobbering Ino, a new comrade. Well, good luck, I'll be leaving now. Your senseis should be here soon. Iruka left while some of the Jonin senseis started filing in and picking up their students. 20 minutes later, and only Team 7 remained. Naruto sighed while he stood up and made his way to the open window. Where are you going, Dobe? Asked the last Uchiha, gaining Naruto's attention before he jumped out the window. To get lost on the path of life, team. Maybe you should too, instead of brooding all the time. Before Sasuke could retort, Naruto leapt from the windowsill, leaving the brooding Uchiha and his pink-haired teammate. With Naruto 23 minutes later near Training Ground 3, Naruto leapt into the clearing looking for a certain silver-haired Cyclops Jonin. Making his way towards where he will most likely find him, the Memorial Shrine. A couple minutes of walking to the Memorial Shrine, he saw his sensei like usual standing in front of the shrine. "You know, they would want you to move on with your life instead of withering away in front of that shrine," said Naruto to the stock still form of Kakashi. Kakashi finally moved his lone eye towards his apprentice before looking back to the Memorial Shrine. "Yeah, I know, but it feels like I just owe it to them from what happened. Especially Rin," Kakashi said with a downcast look. Looking at the name he just mentioned. Sighing, Naruto replied, "Look, Kakashini. You can't keep doing this to yourself. You have to move on with your life and stop living in the past. They wouldn't want you to feel guilty for what happened. They did those things for you and for the safety of Konoha." Kakashi looked up from the stone to Naruto, then looking back. Kakashi turned to Naruto with an eye smile which Naruto knew that he didn't know how he did it. "You're right, Naruto. I promise I'll try to move on from the past. How long before we have to get to the academy?" "My time." Naruto smirked and said, "A couple hours and some change." "Why? How about a little spar between brothers and comrades?" His only reply was Naruto taking off his jacket and drawing his sword. "I'll take that as a yes," said Kakashi before lifting his Hitai up, showing his Sharingan and adding, "Now I'll show you why they call me Sharingan no Kakashi." "Well, I'm going to show you some things that even the Sharingan can copy," said Naruto while activating his Shinwagon and slapping his hands together. Makuten Haijutsu, Jukai Katan. Wood release secret technique, nativity of a world of trees. A second later, trees upon trees started growing out of nowhere trying to ensnarl Kakashi, but before the trees could reach him he jumped out of the way while going through hand seals himself before shouting, "Katen, Gokaku no Jutsu, fire style, great fireball technique," shouted Kakashi before spewing out a huge ball of fire towards Naruto's direction. Naruto jumped out of the way, ending his technique, landing about 25 yards away from his sensei/comrade/big brother. Lesson 1. Taijutsu, said Kakashi before getting in the Goken stance. His left arm was behind his back and his right arm was extended out with his hand extended out before he used the come hither motion with his right hand. Naruto grinned before putting one hand in the ram seal and thought, "Kai, release." Naruto stretched out, getting used to his body being so light. After he finished stretching he stood there looking at Kakashi with the same grin. Neither moved an inch. A leaf was blown off by a small gust of wind and slowly descended between the two combatants before landing in the middle between the two. As the leaf landed, both disappeared from view, showing the fight had started. Chapter 9. The one man that was once called God of Shinobi, for his prowess on and off the battlefield. Who has mastered all of the shinobi arts and all of the jutsus and Konohagakure no Sato besides personal jutsus from clans. He was feared when he was on the battlefield, he was respected in his village, and he was a beloved husband, father, and grandfather. There was only one man that he thought that passed him in every aspect as a shinobi, and that man was Namikaze Minato. The Konoha no Kyosenko, Konoha's Yellow Flash, the fastest man alive who destroyed an entire battle and made up of 1,000 of Iwagakure no Sato's best forces single-handedly in a mere few seconds. He single-handedly won them the Third Shinobi War with that feat. After the war was over, Hiruzen decided to step down and named his new successor. He chose the man who he thought could lead Konoha to greater heights than he ever could. He chose his former student's apprentice Namikaze Minato as the fourth Hokage. Minato's run as Hokage was short-lived. A couple of years after his inauguration to the mantle of Hokage, the Kyuubi no Yoko attacked, nearly destroying their village in the process. Minato stopped the great beast and ended up sealing the Kyuubi in his newborn son, Naruto. Minato sacrificed his life by using the Fuin Jutsu, Shikifun, Reaper Death Seal. Hiruzen always regretted that he didn't take Minato's place. Naruto would have had a better life, and maybe Minato could have saved Kushina in the process as well, even after having a Baijuo ripped out of her seal that contained the Kyuubi. Hiruzen let out a deep sigh, and maybe he wouldn't be in the predicament he was in now. A council meeting. A council meeting that involved a certain blonde and his promotion to Jinan. "I say we should imprison the beast. He is getting too strong for his own good," exclaimed a middle-aged civilian named Hibiki. All of the civilian council agreed. The Shinobi Council just shook their heads, wondering why the civilians were getting into shinobi affairs. Again, all the major clans were the heads to the Shinobi Council. The Hyuga clan head was Hyuga Hiyashi. Hiyashi had long black hair and featureless white eyes. He wore loose-fitting robes with a long-sleeved, brown haori. He had two daughters, Hinata and Hanabi Hyuga. Hiyashi was neutral to the situation, but he didn't see any problems with the Jinchuriki being a shinobi. The Nara clan head was Nara Shikaku. Father of Nara Shikamaru. Shikaku and his son looked identical besides the scars on the right side of Shikaku's face. He had dark hair tied up in a ponytail that resembled a pineapple. He had black eyes as well as a goatee. He knew who Naruto was and who his parents were. He even encouraged his son to be friends with the boy. Unlike the civilians, he saw no problem with Naruto being a shinobi. The remaining clan heads were the Akimichi, who was led by Choza, and Kuji's father. The Yamanaka, led by Inoiki, he was also Ino's father. The Inuzuka, led by Tsume, she was Kiba's and Hana's mother. The Aburame, led by Shibi, he was Shino's father. They all thought along the same lines as both Hiyashi and Shikaku. They were also the advisors for the Hokage, Mito Kato Homura, Utatane Koharu, and Shimura Danzo. These three were indifferent towards Naruto. A.N. If you read other fanfics or watch the Naruto anime, you know who they are. No point in going into detail with them. What do you say, Hokage-sama? Should we imprison the demo? Hibiki was cut off by Hiruzen when killing intent flooded the room. The whole civilian council could hardly breathe, on the verge of pissing themselves from the pressure of his killing intent. Careful what you say around me, Hibiki-san. My law is still in effect. If this is what you all called me here for, then I'm leaving. Naruto is under my command now, which involves shinobi matters. Do you have any power over my shinobi? No, you don't. Really? I had no idea. If that's the case, then civilian, if we ever have a meeting like this again about Naruto or any of my other shinobi that are under my command, you will be prosecuted to the highest extent of the law for treason. And that goes for the rest of you. Do I make myself clear? Hiruzen said with a menacing glare towards the civilian side, who were sweating bullets. Hi, Hokage-sama. They chorused nervously. This meeting is adjourned, Hiruzen said as a headache threatened to split his head in two. Hiruzen made his way out of the council room and back to his office. I'm getting too old for this, he thought with a sigh. I wonder how Naruto is doing. With Naruto training ground 3 1 hour later. Speaking of our favorite blonde, he was panting heavily with sweat pouring down his face, with his traditional fox-like smirk ever present on his face. Naruto was covered in cuts and bruises, his new attire that he had gotten from his surrogate brother now ruined thanks to Kakashi. Naruto could care less, though he was having the time of his life sparring against the one man he called brother. Naruto wasn't the only one looking worse for wear. Kakashi was crouched down trying to regain his breath. These were the times he cursed that he only had above average sized chakra reserves. His reserves have grown a lot since he had been training Naruto, but his reserves weren't on the level of Naruto's. Not even close. Kakashi's compared to Naruto's was like comparing a pond to an ocean. The scary part was that Naruto's reserves have grown daily. Kakashi hasn't been pushed like this in a long time. Not that he would admit that to the young blonde, but he would admit he was quite proud of his protege. He has grown so much from the boy he took under his wing only a few years ago. If he kept growing at this rate, he would surpass his father and then some. He was brought out of his musings by said blonde. You had enough yet, Kakashi? Because if you're not, I've still got a lot left in the tank to keep going, said Naruto with a confident smirk as his Shinwagon eyes outfaced his surrogate brother's lone Sharingan eye, who was still crouching on the ground. Arrogance will only bring your own downfall, Naruto. Always remember that, Kakashi said, appearing behind Naruto with a kunai at his neck, and the crouched Kakashi puffed in smoke. Always remember to look. The Cyclops was cut off by a kunai held to his throat. Always remember to look underneath the blonde said with a fox-like smirk as his clone puffed out of existence. And it isn't arrogance. You could call it confidence, and loads of it. Hey, he was cut off as two hands shot out that grabbed both of his ankles, and he was pulled underground all the way to his neck. Doton, Shinjuzanshu no Jutsu. Earth release, double suicide decapitation technique. Whatever you say, Naruto. That load of confidence would have gotten you killed if I were anybody else, he said with an eye smile while covering his Sharingan with his headband, knowing he was the real Naruto and not another clone. With another pop, the other Kakashi went up in smoke. Damn it. I was so close. I thought I had you this time, said Naruto with a pout while deactivating his Shinwagon and receiving a sigh in return. Yeah, I'll admit that was close, stated Kakashi, making the blonde smirk before Naruto could respond. Kakashi added, but you still have a lot of training to do before you can beat me, said Kakashi with a childish smirk, not that you could tell with most of his face covered up. Oh yeah, Cyclops. Why don't we go another round and see who wins this time, or are you a chicken? Replied Naruto while hopelessly failing to get out of the ground so he could pummel the scarecrow's face in. Kakashi smiled while waving his finger back and forth and making TSK sound, making the blonde try even harder to get out of the ground. Sorry, Naruto. Maybe next time. Right now, we have to go get your other two teammates from the academy, remember? He said while doing a few hand signs and stomped the ground, which Naruto raised up and out of the ground. Fine, But, next time I'ma kick your ass Kakashi. You hear me? Naruto said/yelled at the one-eyed jounin who seemingly was engrossed in his Icha novels or porn or whatever you want to call it. "Hey, you say something, Naruto Atoto?" asked Kakashi with a wry smile. Naruto had multiple tick marks and without saying another word left in a swirl of wind. "Did I say something wrong?" the one-eyed jounin said with his same traditional eye smile still in place. Academy 10 minutes later. "Where the hell are they?" screeched the pink banshee, making Sasuke cover his ears with his hands. Not that he could really blame her for how long they've been waiting for. "It's almost been 3 hours. I swear the next time I see Naruto Baka, I'm gonna kill him," screeched Sakura again. As if on cue, Naruto made his way through the window and Kakashi through door. They both said simultaneously, "Sorry, I'm late. A black cat crossed my path so I had to take the long way around." Naruto and Kakashi had a look of shock on their faces and said, "Again you two?" Which they both nod. "Yeah, it's the third time today," the ex-Onbu captain said. "Man, that cat's a dick," replied the blonde with a raised fist. Both Kakashi and Naruto burst out into a fit of laughter while getting 2 angry glares in return. Kakashi turned to the other two in the room and said, "I like this kid. He even had me believing that hey." Sakura had a tick mark the size of Hokage Mountain and screeched out, "Liars. You're both liars. We've been waiting for 3 hours for you two." Kakashi, Naruto, and Sasuke covered their ears to prevent from ruptured eardrums. "Damn, Ms. MC Pipers, take a chill pill, rub your forehead or something." "Damn, I think I went deaf," said the blonde while digging in his ear with his pinky. "What was that?" screeched the pink-haired girl again, making them cover their ears again. "Whoa, calm down. Since everyone is here, meet me on the roof in 5 minutes, said the silver-haired scarecrow before leaving in a sealless leaf sunshine and not be outdone by Kakashi. Naruto left in a swirl of wind. Sasuke, who saw it, looked on in shock. Sakura wasn't really paying attention since she was fuming to herself about having to wait for 3 hours for her sensei and the dead last of their class doing Kami knows what. Hey, if only she knew. How does the Dobe know how to use the sunshine? It doesn't matter, once a Dobe always a Dobe. Sasuke mused to himself while making his way to the roof and leaving Sakura fuming before she followed after the Uchiha Academy's roof 6 minutes later. About 6 minutes had passed and finally Sasuke and Sakura made it to the roof of the academy. They both saw Kakashi leaning on a handrail and Naruto was sitting on the stairs in front of Kakashi. "You're late," Kakashi exclaimed, making Sakura fumed even more, and Sasuke just gave his normal response, humped, while he continued his walk and sat on the stairs next to where Naruto was sitting. Coming from the person who was 3 hours late to meet their Jinan for the first time. Sakura screeched, making the males cover their ears. "Again, well, that is true, but I am your Jounin sensei, so that means I outrank you, and when I say 5 minutes, I mean 5 minutes. And who said I would be 3 hours ago? A shinobi never reveals what time they arrive because little information like that could get you killed," replied Kakashi in a nonchalant tone while turning a page of his book and continued reading, which made Sakura fume even more, if that was even possible. Kakashi looked up from his book once Sakura sat down next to Sasuke and closed his book with snap, putting it away in his weapons pouch. Clearing his throat, he said, "Okay, introductions are in order. So why don't you all start off with introducing yourselves?" "Introduce ourselves? What are we supposed to say?" asked Sakura with a confused expression. "You can start off with your name, then the things you'll like, dislike, hobbies and your dreams for the future, things like that," he said in his same nonchalant tone. "Could you start off to give us an example of what you mean?" asked Pinkette, which received a sigh from the blonde. "For the girl who graduated the top of her class for the Kunoichis, you sure are pretty dense," said Naruto while he was eating an instant cup of ramen. "Wait, how in the hell did he you know what? Never mind." "What was that?" exclaimed a furious Sakura with a tick mark growing on her forehead. "Well, calm down, Sakura-chan. Wouldn't want you to burst a blood vessel in that head of yours and lose the little brain cells you actually have left from all that screeching you do," replied Naruto with his patent foxy grin. "I'm gonna kill you," screeched Sakura before she could lunge at Naruto. Kakashi spoke up. "That's enough. Sakura, sit down and stop yelling at your team member, and Naruto, stop insulting your team member, and Sasuke, stop pouting as if someone kicked your puppy." Sasuke just looked at Kakashi with a "what the hell, I didn't even do anything look." "We are a team and you need to act like a team. What would happen if I was down for the count and we were on an important mission? What would you do?" "No answers." "Didn't think so. We are Team 7. So act like a team." Kakashi looked at his future team and saw Sakura lower her head. Sasuke just glared, probably because of that kicking his puppy comment, and Naruto just grinned and waved at Kakashi. Kakashi narrowed his lone eye at Naruto and thought, "You're actually trying to make me put some work into this? Oh, I got something planned for you, you little shit." There was an awkward silence that settled between the four that lasted a little over a minute before Kakashi spoke up. "Okay, back to introducing ourselves. I'll start off. My name is Hitake Kakashi. There are many things I like and many things I don't like that I don't feel like explaining. I have lots of hobbies and a dream for the future never really thought about. Kakashi trailed off as it seemed he was lost in thought. While that was useless, he only told us his name. Thought Sakura, whose eyebrow was twitching furiously. Sasuke just narrowed his eyes at Kakashi and gave a humph. Hey Kakashi, ni will never change, ha ha ha. Thought Naruto with a grin. Okay, you next Pinky, said Kakashi, which received a glare in return. Fine. My name is Haruno Sakura. The things that I like is. Looked over at Sasuke, squeal. I mean the person I like is. Glancing back over at Sasuke, squeal. My hobbies are. Glancing to you-know-who, squeal. Dreams for the future. One more glance to Sasuke, another high-pitched squeal, said Sakura with a dreamy look in her eyes. Is there anything you don't like? Asked Kakashi with an annoyed tone. Oh. Ino baka for trying to steal my true love. Replied Sakura. Naruto elbowed Sasuke, discreetly gaining Sasuke's attention, and with a what Naruto whispered, that is one crazy fangirl you got there, team. She is practically mind-fucking you right not? Don't remind me Dobi, Sasuke whispered back with an annoyed expression. Okay, the kid with the kicked puppy, you're next, said Kakashi pointing towards Sasuke. Humph, my name is Uchiha Sasuke. I hate a lot of things and I don't particularly like anything. What I have is not a dream because I will make it a reality. I am going to restore my clan and to kill a certain someone. After Sasuke finished, Naruto and Kakashi slightly glanced at each other with a look of concern before looking back at Sasuke. Sakura just looked at Sasuke with a dreamy look. Oh okay, you're up my favorite protege, said Kakashi with an eye smile. Sasuke narrowed his eyes on that protege comment while Sakura. Well, she was daydreaming about said Uchiha. Protege? What do you mean by protege? Interrupted Sasuke as he looked over at Naruto, eyes still narrowed. You will find out soon enough, Sasuke. But right now it is Naruto's turn to introduce himself. You had your turn to speak and now it's Naruto's turn to speak. Go ahead Naruto, said Kakashi with an eye smile. I'm sorry, you say something Kakashi-sensei? Asked Naruto with an innocent look as if he didn't hear Kakashi. I'm starting not to like you, said Kakashi with the same eye smile. I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I couldn't hear you. Naruto replied with his foxy grin. The floor is yours, introduce yourself. You little shit, said/thought Kakashi. Oh. Well, why didn't you just say so? My name is Uzumaki Naruto. There are lots of things I like, such as Ichiraku ramen, Hokage Oji-san, my knee-san, training, working on new jutsu. There are many other things I like, but I would rather not bore you and waste your time with the rest. The only dislike I can think of is waiting 3 minutes for cooking instant ramen. My hobbies are training, reading, eating all the different types of ramen, and new ways to better myself as a shinobi. My dream for the future is to restore the Uzumaki clan and also to become the Hokage, but not just the Hokage but the greatest Hokage, even greater than the fourth, and to bring peace to this hate-filled world, an unbreakable peace, exclaimed Naruto, who was practically oozing confidence. Both Sasuke and Sakura looked at Naruto with a dumbfounded expression. I mean, who could blame them? Not many people would proclaim what Naruto just said. Kakashi cleared his throat to gain his Genin's attention before he said, since we have a better understanding of each other we can move on. Tomorrow we will have our first mission. What type of mission are we going to have? Asked Sakura with a curious expression. Kakashi just gave her an eye smile before saying, a survival exercise. A survival exercise? What type of survival exercise? Asked Sakura. It is a survival exercise to see if we are good enough to become Genin, replied Naruto as he was spinning a kunai around his index finger. If we are good enough to become Genin? Wait, I thought we were already Genin? We already passed the Genin exam. Asked/yelled Sakura with a furious look in her eyes. That exam was just for Genin candidates who might have a chance to become a Genin. This exercise is to weed out candidates who don't deserve to become a Genin. You know what, Kakashi-sensei, why don't you take over? I don't even know why I started talking. You are our superior, why don't you explain it? Said Naruto with a sheepish grin etched onto his face. Kakashi just smiled and nodded. Of the 27 Genin candidates that graduated, only 9 will actually be accepted as Genin. The other 18, you could say, they will be weeded out and sent back to the academy. In other words, it is a make it or break it, pass/fail test. The chance for you all failing is at least 66%. But if you look on the bright side, you have a 33% chance to pass, explained Kakashi, which received shocked look from Sakura and a raised eyebrow from Sasuke. What? Yelled Sakura. She was finally on a team with Sasuke and now they were just trying to take him away from her. Sorry, that's how it is. I will decide if you will pass or if you fail. be at training ground 3 tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. sharp. Well, that's it, you're dismissed, and I suggest you miss breakfast or you'll puke. Later. And just like that, Kakashi was gone in a puff of smoke. You know what, don't listen to Kakashi-sensei, eat a big breakfast tomorrow, you're gonna need it. Before they could respond, Naruto left in a swirl of wind, leaving the two to their thoughts. I refuse to go back to the academy. I will pass this test and I will be a step closer to my ambition. Sasuke thought to himself before getting up and made his way off the roof with Sakura following suit. Training ground 3 20 minutes later. What? What the hell do you mean I have to run the survival test? Why in the hell can't you do it? You're the Jounin sensei, exclaimed a agitated Naruto. I know I am the Jounin sensei. You are my Jounin, and as your superior you are doing this, and that's final. Besides, it would be good for the three of you as team, replied Kakashi in his same nonchalant tone with his traditional eye smile ever present. Kakashi-ni, I'm starting to not like you, said Naruto with narrowed eyes. Kakashi just waved him off and said, come on, you know it will be fun. Don't even deny it. Naruto thought about for a second and grinned. You know what, it actually could be fun. Alright, I'll do it. That's the spirit, see you at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Later, said Kakashi before he walked off with his book in hand. Kakashi made it about 10 steps before a black cat jumped down from a tree branch and landed in front of Kakashi. Panic flashed in his lone eye before he started running back towards where Naruto was. Naruto! That goddamn cat is back, run the opposite way as fast as you can before it catches us and gives us bad luck for life. Run! Yelled the scarecrow in fear as he darted past Naruto. Naruto looked over to where his surrogate brother was and saw the black cat. Not needing to be told twice, Naruto started running and eventually caught up to Kakashi. That cat is such a dick. I swear that cat is stalking us, that's the 4th time today. A relieved Naruto said, knowing that the cat was left in the dust. And people think we make up excuses just for fun. If only they knew. If only they knew. Trailed off Kakashi as he cried anime tears along with Naruto. Chapter 10. Bell Test Uzumaki Style. Around 5 a.m. Sasuke and Sakura found themselves at training ground 3 waiting for their other team member and sensei. Sasuke decided to walk up to one of the training posts to lean against, and Sakura decided to start pestering Sasuke about going on a date with her. Kami, doesn't she understand I don't want to go out with her? I hope Kakashi-sensei and the Dobi get here soon so we can get this over with and actually start doing some real training. Thought Sasuke as he got lost in thought and blocked out Sakura's never-ending bickering and pestering him for dates. 4 hours and 57 minutes later. Where are they? I can't believe they did this to us again, making us sit and wait and doing Kami knows what. I swear if they are not here in 10 more minutes I'm going to kill them, exclaimed Sakura as she was pacing back and forth. Sasuke rolled his eyes out of irritation. 1. Because his sensei decided it was a good idea to waste his time all day instead of training him. 2. Because of his blasted pink-haired teammates' attempts of getting him to go on a date with her and her constant yelling every 5 seconds. And 3. Was his estranged teammate Naruto's tardiness and his improved skill. Naruto was a mystery to him. Naruto was the dead last and showed no actual skill as a shinobi, and then graduated, and out of nowhere he could use elemental sunshine wind if I remember correctly. It didn't matter, Naruto's improved skill wasn't enough to beat him even if he was Kakashi's protege. He was about to have a rude awakening. There was a rustle of wind and leaves as if on cue. A familiar blonde-haired shinobi with a foxy grin appeared out of the sunshine. You're late, screeched Sakura. Both Naruto and Sasuke cringed from the high-pitched screech that came out of Sakura's mouth. Naruto picked his ear with his pinky and said, a true shinobi would never say on when he or she arrives, and I'm not late. Yes you are. Kakashi-sensei told all of us to be here at 5, started off the pink-haired shinobi but was cut off by Naruto. Actually, Kakashi-sensei isn't here, and since he isn't here, I'm on time, said Naruto, which made Sakura fume. Naruto grinned while he pulled out an apple and started eating it. While he was eating the apple he heard his teammates' stomachs grumble. Naruto gave them a dry look. I thought I told you all to eat some breakfast yesterday so you would actually have some energy for today. The both of you are screwed. It's actually gonna be a lot easier now since you didn't have breakfast, said Naruto, which received 2 confused looks from his teammates. Kakashi-sensei said not to eat or we would puke. And I'm not taking orders from the dead last, exclaimed Sakura. Naruto sighed and replied, if you actually listened to Kakashi-sensei and weren't paying so much attention to your precious Sasuke-kun, you would have heard he suggested not to eat. He didn't give us a order, he gave us a test and you two failed, which means we all failed, Naruto stated seriously, only to receive a glare from Sakura and a raised eyebrow from Sasuke. Well, look at the Dobi actually taking something serious for once. Which reminds me, what did you mean by, it was going to be easier since we didn't have breakfast? Asked Sasuke, only to receive an innocent smile in return. Sasuke and Sakura for some reason had to fight down the urge to shiver. Oh. Hey well, Kakashi-sensei can explain that since it was his idea to do it. Isn't that right, Kakashi-ni, said Naruto as he looked up to a tree across the clearing. With that said, Kakashi jumped from the tree he was perched onto his Jonan team. You're late, screeched Sakura, making the three males cover their ears or risk losing their hearing. A shinobi never reveals on when they arrive. I thought I explained that to you yesterday, Sakura? Instead of complaining, you should have scouted out the area while you waited for me to get here, said their one-eyed sensei in a nonchalant tone, making the pink-haired shinobi fume even more if that was possible. What did the dobi say you were going to explain, Kakashi-sensei? Asked Sasuke, only to receive a smile from said one-eyed sensei. How should I put it? Well, I'm not going to be giving you the survival test, Naruto is. There was a long awkward silence between the four ninja before Sasuke started laughing hysterically. I'm being serious, Sasuke. You should take this serious or you could wake up in the hospital or even worse die, said the Cyclopean ninja as he pulled out his favorite book and making Sasuke's laughter die in his throat. You can't be serious, Naruto. The dobi beat me. I'll pay to see that, said Sasuke as he looked at Naruto, who tossed the eaten apple over his shoulder. Well, you might want to pay up now so I don't have to wait for you to get out of the hospital, because I want to go and get ramen after this, replied Naruto as he smiled towards Sasuke, who gritted his teeth. You think you can beat me? Said Sasuke while he glared at Naruto, who could only smiled. There is no doubt in my mind I can beat you, Sasuke team. But please make it a little interesting because I need a warm-up, said Naruto, who stretched out his arms. Sasuke seethed at Naruto's statement. You could never beat Sasuke-kun, yelled Sasuke's biggest fangirl aka Sakura. Well, I guess we will see, huh, Sakura-chan, Naruto said, putting more emphasis on chan, which Sakura noticed. All of you stop. You are all teammates and should start acting like it. Yes, Sasuke, Naruto will be running the survival test because it will be more interesting. As Kakashi said that, Naruto pulled out two bells and held them in his hand, showing them to Sasuke and Sakura. Bells? Asked Sakura with a confused look. Oh no. They're not just bells, these bells have so much more meaning to them, to the both of you, said Naruto as he tied them to his belt on his waist, which received confused looks from his two Jonan teammates. What are you talking about, Dobi? They're just bells, there is no meaning to them, said Sasuke in a matter-of-fact tone. Hey, and that's where you would be wrong, Sasuke team. These bells decide if the both of you end up back in the academy or not, the whiskered blonde said with a foxy grin, only to receive two shocked faces in return and a lazy jowl and to nod to answer their question before they could ask it. But that isn't fa, Sakura started but was cut off by Sasuke. And what happens if we get the bells from you? Asked Sasuke with a eager look on his face. Naruto looked at him with a grin and answered, I go back to the academy. Kakashi looked up from his book before closing it. He reached in his bag and pulled out a timer and two small box lunches. Once that was done, he gathered his Jonan team before setting the lunches and timer on the memorial stone. You have till noon to try and get the bells from Naruto, and if you don't, the loser or losers will get tied to the post while the winner eats the food in front of their teammates, said Kakashi before he jumped up to one of the trees to to pay close attention to his Jonan team. Yep, no relaxing at all. What type of Jonan sensei would he be if he did that? Told you, you should have eaten breakfast. Hey, said Naruto, only for him to receive two growling stomachs in return, which made Naruto grin more. Get ready, Dobi. I'm going to take those bells from you and you will be going back to the academy, stated Sasuke with a smirk on his face. You know, if you ask nicely, preferably a please, I just might give it to you, said Naruto with a grin. I'd rather take it by force, said the oh-so-confident Sasuke, only for Naruto to grin even more. Suit yourself. You are free to use any weapons or techniques you so choose. Come at me with the intent to kill, because if you don't, you just might end up in the hospital. Hey. With that said, let's beg. Naruto didn't get to finish because Sasuke drawn a kunai and charged Naruto with it, only for Naruto to disappear, shocking Sasuke and Sakura. And before Sasuke knew what had happened, he was lying face first in the grass and dirt with his hand behind his back, the one he wielded the kunai in, and Naruto's foot on his head. Naruto's vice-like grip made sure Sasuke wouldn't be getting up without his say-so. You see there, Sasuke, without a doubt if this was a real fight you would have been dead. And I didn't even say begin yet. You charged in without knowing your adversary was reckless and stupid. You, being the so-called Rookie of the Year, should have known better. I guess I was right, this is going to be a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, said Naruto, who twisted Sasuke's wrist and arm and put a kunai to his throat to further his point, only for Sasuke to grunt in pain. Get off of Sasuke-kun, Naruto baka, screamed Sakura, and received a blank look from her blonde-haired teammate. Naruto released his teammate's wrist and reappeared in his original posture. Sasuke got up slowly and stretched out his arm. Sasuke's face showed it all. His face showed how utterly shocked he was, along with Sakura. Naruto was standing in his original position with his foxy grin. Don't look so shocked, y'all. I've been training with my Nissan since I was 7, said Naruto as if it was the most obvious thing in the world. I thought you were an orphan? You said that yesterday when we introduced ourselves. I thought you had no family, so who is your Nissan? Asked Sakura with the same shocked look on her face. Well, it's Kakashi-sensei of course, exclaimed Naruto with a grin, shocking his teammates even more if that was even possible. What? Yelled Sakura. Both Sasuke and Sakura looked at their sensei for confirmation at the tree branch he was perched on and received a nod. Sasuke clenched his fists. What the hell was going on? The prankster, the dead last, the Dobi, how could he be better than him? Was he in some sick genjutsu or something? But, why would he hide his skills? Why, it didn't make any sense. With that, there was only one question that needed to be asked. Why would you hide your skills then? Asked Sasuke as he looked away from his sensei and back to Naruto. Honestly, it was Kakashi-sensei's idea. Because if I did it my way I would have graduated my first year. Kakashi-sensei on the other hand wanted me to hone and progress my skills so when I get into the field I'll be ready for almost anything. Which I'm thankful for him convincing me to do so because I wouldn't be as strong if I did it my way. And besides nobody would expect the dead last to amount to anything. I mean, you all thought along those same lines so I guess I did a good job on fooling everyone about me being the dead last, huh? Said Naruto. Sakura could only nod dumbfoundedly and Sasuke gritted his teeth. In the shinobi world, you always have to look underneath the underneath because there is always more than meets the eye, said Kakashi in a lazy tone while turning a page in his book. Naruto nodded, that showed he agreed with his sensei. But time was wasting and our blonde hero was ready to get on with the test. Okay, I think that's enough about me, right? So let's get started. Y'all have an hour and 45 minutes left. Time doesn't wait for anyone. So let's begin. Once Naruto said that, Sasuke shifted into his Daijutsu stance and Sakura pulled out a kunai and held it in front of her. Naruto smirked as he reached into his kunai pouch, which made Sasuke and Sakura tense, and then he pulled out a book confusing his teammates. The book was called The Tale of the Utterly Gutsy Shinobi, which he found in his father's library recently. Naruto rather enjoyed the book even more so once he found out that the main protagonist's name was Naruto. I wonder if my To-san got the name Naruto from this book. Naruto was knocked out of his musings when Sasuke charged him. He never learns, does he? Asked/thought Naruto. Lesson 1 Taijutsu, said Naruto with a smirk as he blocked a roundhouse kick to the head. After Naruto blocked the kick with his arm, Sasuke threw a punch which Naruto caught with his free hand. Sasuke saw this and using Naruto's blocking arm as a mount, he twisted and spun his body showing how acrobatic he was and tried to axe kick Naruto in the face with his other leg. Naruto blocked again only for his eyes to widen once he saw Sasuke reach out with his free arm and ended up touching one of the bells. Naruto reacting quick threw Sasuke and jumped back before he could get a bell. That was close, hey, thought Naruto as he looked back at Sasuke with a smirk. That was pretty good team, but it won't work again, said Naruto, which made Sasuke grit his teeth. Shut up, Tobi. I'm going to get those bells and you're gonna end up back at the academy, said Sasuke in a matter-of-fact tone. Whatever you say, buddy, said Naruto as he started reading his book before he disappeared in a puff of smoke. Damn it, where did he go? Asked Sasuke before trying to find Naruto so he could get a bell before time was up. Leaving Sakura all by her lonesome. How am I gonna be able to get a bell if Sasuke can barely even touch one? I don't want to go back to the academy, thought Sakura before wandering off out of the clearing to go and look for Sasuke to see if he needed any help. So it begins, thought Kakashi while turning a page in his book. About an hour and a half later, Sasuke and Sakura tried time and again to get the bells from Naruto but to no avail. Even though Sasuke came close to getting a bell once, he never really had a second chance to do so since. Why, you ask? Well, for one, Naruto decided to use a technique, if you wanted to call it that, named Konoha's secret finger jutsu, 1000 years of death. Let's just say that Sasuke was probably not going to be able to sit down for a week after that. And to make matters worse, he was buried neck deep underground thanks to Naruto after when Sasuke decided to use Kaden Gokaki no Jutsu to try and burn our favorite blonde to a crisp. While Sakura, she tried looking for Sasuke thinking they could work to get the bells together, but once she found him she fainted after she saw Sasuke's head sticking just above ground, thinking he was decapitated. Yep, it wasn't looking so good for Naruto's so-called teammates. That was fun. Hey, said Naruto as he walked back to clearing where the test first begun. You know you could have went easier on them, right? Said Kakashi nonchalantly without looking away from his book. Naruto just looked at Kakashi as if he grew a second head. Go easy on them? Coming from you? You're kidding, right? Asked Naruto as he crossed his arms. Kakashi looked up from his book and asked, what are talking about, Naruto?" After that statement, a tick mark appeared on Naruto's forehead. "Coming from the guy who made me climb up a mountain with a hand tied behind my back." "Oh, stop complaining, it wasn't that bad," Cyclopean Shinobi said while waving off his protégé's statement. Which made Naruto's tick mark intensify tenfold. "With a boulder 3 times my size tied around my waist without using any chakra. I almost died, you prick," yelled Naruto, making Kakashi scratch the back of his head sheepishly. "Well, if it makes you feel any better, I almost died doing it when I was your age," said Kakashi with his traditional eye smile. No, it doesn't. "I wish it did, you sadistic asshole," mumbled Naruto before being cut off by the sadistic asshole, I mean Kakashi. "What was that? Did you just say that you wanted to do it again but a boulder 10 times your size next time?" asked Kakashi with the same eye smile, making Naruto fight down the urge to shiver. "And no. I mean no, Kakashi-sensei. I just said you were a wonderful sensei and the coolest guy that I know," stated Naruto, hoping his sensei wouldn't do that to him. "Yeah, that's what I thought," said Kakashi in his same nonchalant tone as he turned a page in his book. "Fucker," thought Naruto, thinking of a way how he could get back at his sensei. Naruto was cut out of his musings by the sound of the bell ringing, signaling the test was over. Sighing, Naruto walked over and turned the timer off. After a few minutes, Sasuke and Sakura decided to come join Kakashi and Naruto. Kakashi jumped down from the tree branch he was on and landed next to where Naruto was standing. "Well, it seems the survival exercise is over. Did you learn anything, Sasuke and Sakura?" asked Kakashi while putting his most prized possession back in his kunai pouch, aka his Icha novel. "Did we learn anything? He almost killed us," yelled Sakura, which made Naruto roll his eyes. "Sakura, you didn't even try to get a bell from me. You even fainted thinking Sasuke was a talking decapitated head. Which I'm not going to lie, that was kinda funny. But yeah, I definitely tried to kill you all," said Naruto in a sarcastic tone before looking over at the tuckered out Sasuke. "I'm not going to lie, team. You actually surprised me being able to touch a bell. You have a lot of potential," said Naruto. "So Sasuke, did you learn anything?" asked Kakashi as he watched Sasuke debating on what the hell was going on. Yeah, I did," mumbled Sasuke, but Kakashi heard him. "Oh, really? And what would that be?" Kakashi asked, which made Sasuke clenched his fist until his knuckles turned white. "That I need to get stronger. I need to be stronger. It pains me to say it, but I was wrong about the Dobi this whole time. He's better than me," said Sasuke, which made Naruto's and Sakura's eyes widen. "Hey Kakashi-sensei, did I just hear what I heard, or am I hearing things?" asked a shocked Naruto. "Yeah, you heard right, Naruto. So, Sakura, Sasuke, did you figure out the purpose of the test?" Kakashi asked, gaining the two genins' attention. "Purpose? The purpose was to get the bells from Naruto, right?" Sakura asked, making Naruto sigh. Kakashi replied and said, "Not exactly, Sakura. Good guess though. But no. The real purpose of this test was teamwork. Normally, there would be a 3-man cell versus their Jonin-sensei, but with some certain circumstances, meaning Naruto, you 3 would have had passed with flying colors if you all 3 faced against me. With that being said, I decided to do the next best thing, let Naruto run the survival test. But, the both of you still didn't try to work together. Sasuke, you tried to fight Naruto head-on time after time and it didn't get you nowhere. And Sakura, you only worried about where Sasuke was and completely forgot that there was a test going on. You have to work together because there's always a better chance to complete the mission when you are working with a team. To be fair, even if they worked together they wouldn't have gotten a bell, Kakashi-ni," said Naruto, making Kakashi turn his attention to Naruto, only for Kakashi to eye smile. "That may be true. Which brings me back to you. Naruto, did you learn anything?" asked Kakashi, which made Naruto give him his signature fox-like grin. "Now that you mentioned it. Yeah, I did," said Naruto. Kakashi waited for Naruto to go on but quickly realized Naruto wasn't continuing. "What did you learn then, Naruto?" Kakashi asked. "Well, I learned I'm going to have 2 new teammates," said Naruto, which made Sasuke and Sakura perked up and Kakashi eye smile. "What are you talking about, Dobi?" asked Sasuke in a confused tone. "You seriously gotta stop calling me the team. Why don't you both check your kunai pouches and find out for yourselves?" said Naruto. Sasuke and Sakura did what Naruto told them to do and to their shock found 1 bell each in their pouches. "So you did figure it out," Kakashi said, and Naruto nodded with a grin. "Yeah, it took me a while but I did eventually," said Naruto, only for Sakura to speak up. "Okay, am I missing something? What is going on? Why do we have the bells? So does this mean we are not going back to the academy?" Before Sakura could go on, Naruto cut her off. "Calm down, Sakura. And to answer your questions, let me explain." Naruto started and continued. "You see, it's like this. Kakashi gave you your test on trying to get the bells from me and with some hidden meaning gave me my own test as well without me knowing it first until I pieced it all together and figured it out. In the shinobi world there might be a time where we will be fighting enemy shinobi on mission and we might not make it out alive unless one of us has to stay behind and hold them off so the rest of the team can escape from certain death. Like what had happened to the Nidaime, second Hokage who sacrificed his own life for his team to escape. You see, Kakashi wanted to see if I was willing to take that step to give up those bells to you two even though it meant I would have to go back to the academy. And to answer your last question. No, all three of us aren't going back to the academy, isn't that right Kakashi-sensei? Said Naruto with a grin making said Joun and I smile. I guess it's official then. Starting today we are Team 7. We will have our first mission tomorrow morning. Meet in front of the Hokage Tower tomorrow morning at 9. Said Kakashi before disappearing in a swirl of leaves. Sakura, Sasuke, and our whiskered blonde hero celebrated. Naruto grinned, Sasuke smirked, and Sakura shook with happiness. They were all happy they were finally shinobi for Konohagakure no Sato. Hey, do you all mind if I can ask a favor of you two and I'll promise to help you both with training, said Naruto, which gained Sasuke's and Sakura's attention. What is it, Dobe? Asked Sasuke. Can y'all not say anything about my skills yet? I still want people to believe that I'm still just the dead last, said Naruto while sheepishly scratching the back of his head. What? Why? Asked Sakura with a confused look. Because I don't want the attention and besides I'll be like our secret weapon if nobody knows. Naruto was cut off by Sasuke. Nobody will be expecting it. Finished Sasuke, which made Naruto grin. Exactly. So do we got a deal? Asked Naruto, which he received 2 nods in return. Okay, awesome. Hey, since we're an official team now, you all wanna go get some Ichirakus? My treat, Naruto said. Sasuke shrugged his shoulders and Sakura smiled and nodded. Naruto grinned. Today isn't all that bad. I'm finally a shinobi for Konoha, my teammates aren't so bad, and last but not least Kakashi-ni-san is my sensei. What could go wrong? Thought Naruto with a grin while Naruto led the way out of Training Ground 3 while leading his team to Ichiraku Ramen. Yeah, today is a great day. A month had passed since the formation of Team 7 officially became a team. And let's just say it wasn't what the trio thought it would be. Even Naruto was quite surprised with how well the team meshed together. Naruto would have bet anything that Sasuke and Sakura would have butted heads with him at every turn, but surprisingly, they didn't. Well, most of the time, anyway. They were like a well-oiled machine, and Kakashi was happy for his surrogate little brother. It seemed like everything was working out for his team. Even during their dreaded D-rank missions. True to Naruto's word, he helped train the two after their team building and D-rank missions, if you wanted to call those chars missions. Naruto picked up Kakashi's slack when it came to help train Sasuke and Sakura. Naruto taught both of them the tree walking exercise, and to Naruto's surprise, Sakura was able to get it down on her first try without breaking a sweat. Sasuke, on the other hand, took him almost a week to complete, which kinda irked him, but Naruto put his mind at ease, telling him it was because he had a much higher chakra reserve than Sakura. But with the revelation of Sakura's chakra control being so high, Naruto told Kakashi to help train her in genjutsu. With her control, it would be perfect along with medical ninjutsu. But that'll come at a later time. Sasuke on the other hand, after completing the tree climbing exercise, wanted to pick up kenjutsu after seeing Naruto practice his katas while waiting on Kakashi one day. Sasuke already had a few swords back at his compound, so it wouldn't be hard for him to get one. So, 2 or 3 times a week after they are done with their missions and team building, Naruto and Sasuke would do light spars so Sasuke could practice, and like Naruto, Sasuke was a natural with a blade in his hand. He was still raw, but with the proper training and practice he could be a force with a blade in his hand. During this month, Naruto wasn't slacking off either. He started to do the leaf exercise for both lightning and fire. Naruto already completed the first 2 steps for wind, water, and earth, and like Hiruzen, he wanted to master all the affinities. Even though both lightning and fire have taken longer compared to the first 3 affinities, it shouldn't take much longer with his help of the Kage Bushins. With the help of the Kage Bushins, it'll only take 2 more weeks at most to have completed the first step for both. That wasn't the only thing Naruto was working on, and Kakashi took notice of complex seal that had him intrigued. Kakashi asked what type of seal it was, but Naruto was cryptic with his answers, only telling him my legacy or something along that line. Kakashi left it alone, knowing Naruto would tell him when he was ready. Our favorite blonde, along with his teammates and Jounin Sensei, were at Training Ground 3. Finishing up some team-building exercises and daily workouts. Kakashi had them too. Naruto and Sasuke viewed them as a warm-up, But Sokka, still behind both her teammates on the physical side, was exhausted. Even though she has been making big strides in her development, she was still far behind both Naruto and Sasuke. But in due time, she'd eventually catch up. At least she hoped she could. All three Jonin were taking a break and talking when Kakashi walked up to the three. "Alright, team. To finish out our day, let's head over and get another D-rank mission," Kakashi said while closing his book, only to receive 3 glares in return. "Why do we have to keep doing those chores? Those aren't missions. I'm tired of those damn things," Naruto exclaimed while standing up, and Sasuke and Sakura couldn't help but nod. "I agree with the Dobi on this one, Kakashi-sensei. Can't we get an actual mission that doesn't involve catching that damn devil cat?" asked Sasuke, looking up at his sensei, ignoring Naruto, who said hey to his Dobi comment. "Yeah, Kakashi-sensei. I mean, while I don't really mind doing some of the missions we get, they just seem a little tedious at times," said Sakura, agreeing with her 2 teammates. Kakashi looked at his 3 Jonin inside and said, "While I agree with some of the things you said, the main purpose of the D-rank missions are to help build your teamwork. Maybe in a couple of weeks, we can go on our first C rank." "Kakashi-ni, are you just being lazy, or is it because the new Icha just came out, and you just want to read it?" Naruto said while giving an incredulous look at the sheepish Kakashi. "Mama Naruto, it's because you all need to refine your teamwork. I swear to Kami," said Kakashi as he crossed his fingers behind his back without the 3 noticing. "What are you talking about, Naruto? What is Icha?" asked Sakura with a confused look, and Sasuke looked at Naruto, with a raised eyebrow showing he wanted to know too. Naruto looked at the 2 and replied, Icha is basically a novel filled with porn that Kakashi-ni religiously reads. You both saw him reading it multiple times." The 2 gave Kakashi incredulous looks while Kakashi scratched the back of his head sheepishly. "It is not porn, Naruto. It's amazing literature that was written by the best author throughout the elemental nations. Don't disrespect the magnificent Icha series and call it porn, or you will be only doing D ranks for the next 2 months, Kakashi stated while Naruto rolled his eyes while his 2 other teammates' sweat dropped. "Yeah, okay Kakashi-ni. I'm getting myself a C rank mission, and there's nothing you can do to stop me," our favorite blonde said matter-of-factly. "I'd like to see you try. I'm the Jounin sensei, and my word is final," Kakashi replied with his patented eye smile. "Oh yeah," Naruto exclaimed with fire in his cerulean blue eyes. "Yeah," replied back Kakashi with the same fire in his onyx eyes while he got in Naruto's face, and somehow there was electricity coming from both of their eyes, fighting for dominance while they were walking away from the other 2 confused Jonin towards the Hokage Tower. Sasuke and Sakura could only look on to Naruto and Kakashi's retreating forms, not taking their eyes off of each other. "We have such a weird team," Sakura said to herself while they both left to catch up to their sensei and blonde-haired teammate. 20 minutes later, Hokage Tower. "Naruto, get down from there. Now," Kakashi said as he was looking at his surrogate brother. Sakura giggled, seeing what Naruto was doing, and even Sasuke had a smirk on his face seeing what Naruto was doing. Hiruzen was smoking his pipe while looking on with a smile along with the other Chunin that were handing out missions, and looked at the scene that was playing out in front of them. Naruto was sitting on the ceiling upside down with his arms crossed, hunched over, and faced away from everyone. "No, not until we get a C rank. You heard GG. We would have to catch that bastard of a cat. I refuse. I hate cats," Naruto exclaimed while Kakashi got a tick mark as he pinched the bridges of his nose. "So Naruto wants a C rank, eh Kakashi-san?" I'm surprised it took him this long to ask. "Ha." The old Hokage chuckled as Kakashi turned towards the chuckling Hokage. "It seems so, Hokage-sama. But I told them in a couple more weeks while we refine their teamwork then I'll get them a C rank," Kakashi stated as he glared his one eye at Naruto, who was glancing towards the 2 talk and turn abruptly when Kakashi glared at him, which made Kakashi sigh and shake his head. "You and I both know your team is ready, Kakashi-san. So what is the hesitation?" asked Hiruzen, looking at the one-eyed shinobi in front of him. Before Kakashi could say anything, Naruto exclaimed, "It's because of the perverted book that just came out. Now he wants to make the excuse it's because of our teamwork. But I know the real reason, Uroni." Which made the one-eyed ninja face fault. "Come now, Kakashi-san. That isn't true, is it?" asked Hiruzen with an incredulous look. Kakashi sheepishly scratched the back of his head. "Of course not, Hokage-sama. You know I would never do that. I just believed it would be better for them to have more training together before we had a C-rank mission, that is all," Kakashi said while sweating on the inside and cursing Naruto's name and swearing he would get back at the blonde for this. "Well, that settles it then. Naruto, go ahead and get down from there. You proved your point. We just received a C rank that'll be perfect for you and your team, Kakashi-san. There is a bridge builder that needs you and your team's protection while he finishes the bridge he is building. Bring in the client, Hiruzen said while Kakashi sighed in defeat, and Naruto jumped and landed beside him and his teammates with a foxy grin. I'm definitely gonna get him back for this, Kakashi thought while narrowing his lone eye at his surrogate brother, and Naruto seeing this stuck his tongue out at him, which made Kakashi's eye twitch. About a minute went by, and their client walked into the room. He had gray hair and a beard with dark eyes. He also wore a sleeveless v-neck shirt with an obi, pants, and a pair of sandals. He also carried a towel around his neck and wore a pointed hat on his head. After walking into the room, the group could smell a strong odor of booze, which made the three Genin scrunch their noses from the smell. You give me a bunch of kids to help protect me? What's with that blonde and that dumb look on his face? He asked while taking a swig of his bottle while Naruto had a tick mark on his head from the comment. What was that, you old geezer? Naruto exclaimed while reaching in his kunai pouch before being restrained by his Jounin-sensei. You heard me, Gaki. What's the deal, Hokage-san? I thought you were gonna get me some real shinobi, not some kids who are trying to play as one? The old man asked incredulously while looking at the aged Hokage. The three Genin in question glared at their client at that remark. While yes, they are young, but these kids, as you put it, should do just fine. These Genin you see before you are actually the best Konoha has to offer. Their Jounin-sensei Kakashi here is one of our best elite Jounins in the village. I'm pretty sure they can handle a couple of bandits and the such if you came across any on your travels and while building your bridge, Tazuna-san, Hiruzen said while taking a hit of his pipe while the now named Tazuna only nodded and sighed. Kakashi-san, like I said, you are to escort Tazuna-san here to the Land of Waves and protect by any means necessary along with your team. It should take about 2 weeks at most, so pack accordingly. And Naruto-kun, don't pull that stunt again. Just ask next time. You're all dismissed, Hiruzen said while the team and Tazuna made their way out of the Hokage Tower. Alright team. Go and pack for a minimum of 2 weeks of supplies and meet at the North Gate in 1 hour. Don't be late, Kakashi said while his team nodded and left. North Gate 1 hour later. Naruto dressed in his new attire along with his black cloak with red flames coming from the bottom. With his sword on his back along with a scroll that had his supplies in his kunai pouch. Sasuke had his normal attire on, the only difference was the sword strapped to his waist and backpack packed with his supplies along with Sakura. They were waiting for the Jounin-sensei and client who started to walk up and meet with them. Alright, team, is everyone ready? Kakashi asked and received 3 nods in return and a nod from Tazuna. Alright, Team 7, let's roll out, said Kakashi while taking the lead and his 3 Genin and Tazuna followed in suit. Finally a real mission, Naruto thought as he and his team started making their way to the Land of Waves. Team 7, along with their client Tazuna, was making their way to Wave. They were in a diamond formation surrounding Tazuna, Naruto in the front, Sakura and Sasuke to his right and left respectfully and Kakashi in the rear. They made small talk to help pass the time. They were slowly trudging along at a slow pace, and in the distance, Kakashi and Naruto noticed a puddle. Weird. It hasn't rained in days, they both thought as they continued past the puddle. Once past the puddle, 2 figures emerged from the puddle. They both had shoulder-length, dark brown hair and dark eyes. They wore a rebreather that covered the lower half of their face and a large, clawed, gauntlet which had a chain coming out of it that had the other end attached to the other's own gauntlet. They both wore a camouflage suit with bandages around their waist, dark-colored, knee-length sandals and a ragged black cape. They both had Karagakure forehead protectors on. Without giving warning, the chain shot forward and wrapped around Kakashi, who had a shocked look on his face, and before he could react, the Kiri Shinobi pulled and tore Kakashi to shreds, which shocked the bridge builder and Sakura. Without hesitation, Naruto unsheathed his sword and raced towards the shinobi, while Sasuke followed suit. Before the Kiri Shinobi could react, Naruto was already in front of him, slashing at him in a vertical motion. The Kiri-nin with his gauntlet arm went to block, but to his shock and horror the sword went right through like a hot knife through butter, effectively losing his right arm in the process. What the Kiri-nin didn't know was that Naruto was using his wind affinity to coat his weapon, wrong move on the Kiri-nin's part. Before the Kiri-nin could scream out in pain, Naruto performed a horizontal slash and successfully chopped off the Kiri-nin's head, shocking his teammates and the other Kiri-nin. Gozu! You bastard, I'll kill you! He was about to charge at our young blonde before Sasuke kicked him and sent him flying, and while he was in the air a black chain with a blood-colored spike wrapped around the Kiri-nin and slammed him into the ground, effectively knocking the Kiri-nin out cold. It took a second for it to process, but Naruto looked at the now named Gozu with shock in his eyes, realizing he had just killed another human life. He just reacted, and his body moved on itself as if he were on autopilot. Naruto knew what he was getting into the day he started training to be a shinobi with Kakashi, but it just didn't sit right with him. It felt wrong. Naruto was taken out of his thoughts by a hand being placed on his shoulder, none other than his sensei, Kakashi. Kakashi gave him a sad smile and patted him on his back wordlessly, saying everything would be alright. Naruto made his way back to his teammate and Tazuna along with Sasuke, who looked at him with a surprised look. Who could blame him? Naruto just took a life and made it look effortlessly. Sakura was shocked at the situation as well and kicked herself for freezing up. Both her teammates didn't even hesitate for a second, but she did, and she made a promise to herself she would try her best never to do it again. "You alright, Gaki?" asked the bridge builder and received a nod and a sad smile in return. Tazuna couldn't help but feel sorry for the blonde one who is so young already taking a life. "And he took it to protect me," he thought, looking at Naruto. "We thought you were killed, Kakashi-sensei." "I'm so happy that you are alright," said Sakura and received a nice smile in return. Kakashi walked up to the downed Kirinin and dragged him to a tree, and tied him up, splashing some water in his face to try and wake him up to no avail. "You sure did a number on him, Naruto. There's no waking him up. So, Tazuna, would you like to explain why the demon brothers just attacked our team?" Kakashi asked, narrowing his lone eye at Tazuna, who started sweating under the Jounin's gaze. "You do know that C ranks are for only bandits and the such that might try and attack you. But shinobi, who are after you, is at minimum of a B rank, and you just had 2 Chunins try and attack us. You lied to us, Tazuna, and I don't tolerate liars. So if you know what's good for you, you will tell us everything, and if I even get a hint that you're lying, I'm taking my team and leaving, and you can fend for yourself," Kakashi said as he looked at Tazuna, who looked at the ground in defeat. Tazuna gave in and told the group the truth. Tazuna revealed that they were indeed after him, deciding to tell them the whole truth. Tazuna tells them of Gato, the owner of a large corporation, had effectively taken control of his land, and who was pretty much a gang boss. He had drained the land of Wave's economy to suit his own purposes, so Tazuna didn't have the money for a B-ranked mission, and the only thing that can break his hold on the country is the bridge Tazuna was wanting to build. Tazuna wouldn't look at Kakashi after telling him the truth. "Well, Tazuna, while I don't appreciate you lying to us, at least you finally told the truth. But that doesn't mean we will finish the mission. That I'll leave up to my Jonin squad. So your fate is in their hands as of this moment. What do you 3 want to do? Continue the mission or head back to Konoha?" asked Kakashi while he looked at his 3 students. "You already know my answer, Kakashi-ni. This is our first mission outside of Konoha, and I'll be damned if I let those scrubs scare me off like that, and besides, even if we run into someone stronger than those guys, you and I are almost on par with one another. So anything they throw at us, we can take head on. This is the experience I need to get stronger, and I'll be damned if I turn my back on people who need Konoha's help," exclaimed Naruto, and Kakashi smiled and nodded and looked at his 2 teammates. "What the dobe said. I didn't come all the way out here just to turn around with my tail between my legs. I want to continue on with the mission," said Sasuke with a smirk. Kakashi looked at Sakura and noticed she was uncomfortable with the situation. "What do you say, Sakura? Everyone has to agree to continue the mission. If you don't want to continue, it's okay, they can send out another team to replace us," said Kakashi while he looked at Sakura and saw the emotions running across her face. She looked at her team and saw the determined faces of both Sasuke and Naruto. The main reason she was hesitating was because of what Naruto had to do. Would she have to kill someone too? Was she even cut out to be a shinobi? But remembering back to the promise she made to herself, and with a determined look, she looked at her sensei and nodded. Kakashi looked at his team, and an eye smiled. They have come a long way in a month. At least Sakura and Sasuke have. Naruto was always surprising him throughout the years, but this didn't. He already knew the answer before he even asked Naruto. "Well, that settles it then. But Tazuna-san, just because we are continuing, does not mean you won't be paying Konoha the correct amount once our mission is completed. And for lying, there will be an extra fee. Do I make myself clear?" Kakashi said while biting his thumb and going through hand seals, and Tazuna nodded in return. "Summoning jutsu," Kakashi said, and there was a poof of smoke, and once the smoke cleared, a miniature pug with a Konoha Hitayate was in its place. "You called Kakashi?" said the minotaur pug in a gruff voice, and Sakura, along with Tazuna, looked on in shock. "That dog can talk." They both thought. "Yes, Pakun. Take this scroll to Hokage-sama. Our mission has just got a little more complicated. Everything is fine, but if I need backup, I just want someone on standby if need be," finished Kakashi while he tossed the scroll to the now-named Pakun, who caught it in his mouth. "Sure thing, Kakashi-san. Oh hey Naruto, how have you been?" asked Pakun while his tail wagged after he saw Naruto. "I've been good, it's good to see you again. "Oh, I got something for you." Digs in his kunai pouch. "Here it is," Naruto said as he pulled out a piece of some dried meat. Pakun dropped the scroll and Naruto tossed it to Pakun, who caught it and swallowed it without even chewing said treat. "Thanks, Naruto. I'll be going now, later," Pakun said, and picked the scroll back up and saluted Kakashi before disappearing in a puff of smoke. "Okay everyone, let's move out," said Kakashi as they continued their mission. 8 hours later, Team 7, along with their client Tazuna, made their way and got on a small charter boat that he arranged with an old friend. As they were getting closer to Wave Country, it was getting more and more foggy, almost to the point where it was getting harder to see. They were on the boat for about 45 minutes when a partially built bridge came into view. "Tazuna-san, is that the bridge you're building?" asked Naruto and was amazed at the workmanship of the well-crafted bridge. "Yeah, Gaki. That is the bridge that will open many doors for my country and hopefully end Gato's reign," said Tazuna with a smile on his face. While Naruto and Tazuna were talking, Kakashi couldn't get a sinking feeling from out of his gut. He felt like he was being watched, and it wasn't sitting right with the silver-haired Jounin. Something wasn't right, and he didn't like it. "We're here. It's time to move." Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura, be on guard, don't lose focus for even a second. "Do you all understand?" said Kakashi and received 3 nods in return. They made their way off the ship and stayed in the same formation as before. They continued like that for about 20 more minutes, and the fog was getting denser and denser, and it was to the point where the group couldn't see even 5 foot in front themselves. Naruto sensed something to his left, and he had thrown a chakra-induced kunai. But what he thrown his weapon at was nothing more than a bunny. Naruto narrowed his eyes as he kept his senses at the max as he scanned the area. At least the areas he could see before activated his shin wagon, not liking what was going on. "Naruto, you almost killed a harmless bunny. What has gotten into you? What happened to your eyes, Naruto?" asked his pink-haired teammate, who couldn't help but stare into his eyes. Sasuke tried to get a look at Naruto's eyes too but couldn't get a good look because of the fog they were stuck in. "I'll tell you later, Sakura. Kakashi-sensei, there's chakra laced into this fog. Someone is purpose." "Everyone get down," Naruto yelled, and everyone jumped straight down to their bellies while Naruto unsheathed his sword and deflected a huge sword that just tried and dismembered his entire team and himself. The sword lodged itself into a tree about 8 meters from the Team 7 and Tazuna. A man appeared standing on the handle of the blade while the fog cleared up a little so the party could see the man who had just tried to kill them all. Zabuza was a tall and noticeably muscular man with light grayish skin, short spiky black hair, dark brown eyes, and small eyebrows. He was wearing bandages like a mask over the bottom half of his face. He wore a kiri-hite sideways on his head. He was shirtless, with his chest only covered by a belt, and wearing baggy pants with the striped pattern typical of Karagaku and mimetic wrist warmers extending up to his elbows, with matching leg warmers. "You got balls, brat. Deflecting my Kubi Karabocho like you did. Not many have done that, and I survived. I shouldn't be surprised though, seeing who your Jounin-sensei is." "Sharingan no Kakashi," said the man in a gruff voice. Kakashi eyed the man and said, "Momochi Zabuza the Karagaku no Kijin. Why am I not surprised? The Demon Brothers were a dead giveaway, but I was hoping we didn't have to run into you now. This mission has definitely gotten more serious." Kakashi grabbed his Hittite and lifted it up, revealing a Sharingan that shocked Sasuke. Sasuke also noticed Naruto's Dojutsu and was shocked he had one. He didn't recognize it, but it seemed like the dead last was full of surprises. "You honor me, Kakashi, on showing me the Sharingan so soon. So I'm assuming you aren't going to hand over the bridge builder?" said Zabuza with a bloodthirsty grin. "Not that you could see it with the bandages and all." "Not on your life," Kakashi said with narrowed eyes, pulling out a kunai and holding it in a crossguard grip. "I wished this could have been under better circumstances, Kakashi, but I was hired for a job and I intend." Zabuza was cut off as he ducked underneath of a black sword slashing through where his head was not even a second before, and he gripped the handle of his sword before pulling an acrobatic twist and kicking the blonde sword wielder only for him to use his leg as a springboard, jumping and landed back with his team. "Damn, I thought I had him there," Naruto muttered, shocking his 2 teammates and even Zabuza. "Naruto, this isn't someone I would have tried that against. Don't try to rush. You caught him off guard, but that won't work again. Let me handle this one. Don't be reckless like that again," said Kakashi, not taking his eyes off of Zabuza. Naruto replied with a "hi sensei" and left it at that. "He's fast, even faster than Haku. That was unexpected. If I was even a half a second late, my head would have been rolling. I'll have to keep an eye on that Gaki." Zabuza thought to himself as he went through a couple hand seals, and the mist got thicker to the point Team 7 couldn't even see in front of them. 8 points. Larynx, spine, lungs, liver, jugular, subclavian artery, Kidneys and heart, Zabuza said, but to everyone's surprise his voice was coming from everywhere. Which one wants to be my first kill? He said again as the killing intent in the area was overwhelming to the point Sasuke grabbed a kunai and was ready to kill himself only to be stopped by Kakashi. Don't worry, Sasuke. We aren't gonna die here today, and I won't let anything happen to you or the rest of the team. I promise, Kakashi said, and it seemed to work as Sasuke got himself under control. Naruto put his fingers in a cross and exclaimed, Kage Bushin. Before anyone realized there was a miniature army of Kage Bushins surrounding the group. Naruto made 100 Bushins in all, but 4 of them went out into the mist and tried to locate the missing nin. Naruto looked at the other 4 and said, you know what to do. And the 4 clones nodded and surrounded the bridge builder and his 2 other teammates at 4 points and clapped their hands together and slammed their hands to the ground and exclaimed for Red Yang formation. A red barrier rose up and surrounded the 3 and 8x8 area and extended out at an angle at the 4 corners to seal in the Bushins so they couldn't get dispelled. Quick thinking, Naruto. How long can you keep that barrier up? Asked Kakashi as they both stood back to back. Long enough to take this fucker out. Naruto replied before continuing, he is decimating my clones. He has already destroyed half of them, and I can't exactly pinpoint where he is because of this damn mist. Somebody just wanted a damn C rank. And here we are back to back, trying not to die. I could have been reading that new Icha book relaxing at home, but no, I'm here with you in this Kami-forsaken mist, Kakashi said, narrowing his eyes and scanning the area. But I thought that wasn't the reason why you didn't want to get us a C rank, it was because of teamwork as you put it. You see, you told Tezano you didn't like liars and look at you lying. I guess you don't like yourself very much, huh, Uroni? There goes my last clone, get ready, said our favorite blonde while gripping his sword firmly, preparing for what's to come. I didn't lie. I fibbed. There's a difference. But you, Kakashi was cut off but blocking a strike that would have surely cut him in half. Wouldn't understand that because you are still just a gaki. Naruto blocked a couple strikes and replied back, oh I understand perfectly fine, you're just a fucking pervert and a lazy ass. You fibbed. That's still fucking lying, jackass, Naruto exclaimed while blocking another overhead slash that would have surely killed Kakashi and Naruto in one swing. Naruto language, Kakashi said using his kunai to help block the overhead slash. Someone is trying to kill us and you're worried about my language? Asked Naruto as he threw a kick towards the missing nin who dodged and went back into the mist. Yeah, what gives Kakashi lay off of the gaki already? Zabuza voiced echoed throughout the mist. See, even he is agreeing with me. Thanks, said Naruto with a smirk and received a no problem as both Kakashi and Naruto had to duck underneath the horizontal slash that would have surely killed them. Naruto, no fraternizing with the enemy, exclaimed Kakashi only to receive a roll of the eyes from Naruto. Not that he could see him, shit, he could hardly see his hand in front of his face. I'm tired of this damn fog. Hey Zabuza team, can you ease up on this mist jutsu you're doing so I can stick you with my sword already? Asked Naruto only to have to block another strike. Those strikes that Zabuza was throwing out were something fierce. No, I don't think so, Gaki. Replied Zabuza. Well, it was worth a shot I guess, said Naruto surveying the area. Alright, enough of this already, said Naruto before going through hand seals. Wind style, violent whirlwind. Naruto produced a powerful stream of wind from his mouth around the area. It was strong to clear some of the mist, but to Naruto's disdain the mist reappeared as if it never left. I hate this. Kakashi, is there anything you have in mind? Asked Naruto as he heard chuckling from the mist. Working on it. As he said that, Kakashi and Naruto were both kicked in the chest and sent flying and landed on a small lake about 10 meters away. Your mind, Zabuza said as he appeared behind Kakashi, finishing his hand seals and trapping him in an orb of water. Water style, water prison jutsu. Zabuza finished with his hand attached to the orb of water with a smirk on his face. Shit, said thought Naruto and his sensei. It seems I won this round, Sharingan no Kakashi. Tell the blonde to drop the barrier, and I'll kill you quickly along with your gakis, Zabuza said matter-of-factly in his gruff voice without taking his eyes off of our favorite blonde. I don't think so, Zabuza team, said Naruto as he dug in his kunai pouch, and without a second thought, he had thrown a shuriken before going through hand seals. Shuriken Kage Bushin no Jutsu, exclaimed Naruto as the 8 shuriken turned into 40 and headed for the Kirinin. Mizu Bushin no Jutsu, Zabuza said, and 5 clones appeared and knocked the shurikens away. Nice try. But you are gonna have to try harder than that, said Zabuza as his Mizu Bushin stood in front of Zabuza, getting ready to skewer Naruto. Naruto went through more hand seals and finished in the snake seal and yelled, Makuten Haijutsu, Jukai Katan. Would release, Nativity of a World of Trees. To Zabuza's shock, trees start rising from the water at a fast pace heading towards him and his Mizubushins. Zabuza had to end his jutsu holding Kakashi and jumped away. His Bushins didn't react in time and were destroyed by the forest. Kakashi appeared next to Naruto while trying to regain his breath. Naruto continued his jutsu and was trying to at least subdue the missing nin. Zabuza, for better or worse, was running for his life and not to get caught or tripped up in the Bluder's Makuten jutsu. How could that blonde have a Kekkei Genkai that was related to the Shodaime Hokage? He thought it was lost the day that he died. It seemed Konoha kept him a secret. No wonder he was so fast. He was probably trained the day he was born. Zabuza lost concentration for a split second, and that was all Naruto needed as he ensnarled him by the ankle, and once his ankle was in one of Mokuten's branches, both arms and his other ankle was ensnarled as he was held in the air by the thick branches with his arms and legs spread out. Zabuza tried to break free but to no avail. Got him. You're up, Kakashi-sensei. Naruto proclaimed as Kakashi went through hand seals of his own. Suten, Suryuden no Jutsu, Water Style, Water Dragon Jutsu. Kakashi finished as massive a water dragon was molded from the lake they were on and shot towards the Kirinin, whose eyes widened as the dragon made direct impact with Zabuza, breaking him from the branches of the Makuten and sent him careening across the battlefield before Zabuza's back at a tree that stopped his descent and sent bark flying, leaving an imprint of Zabuza's body in the tree. Zabuza tried to get up but he was pretty sure he broke a few ribs and had some internal bleeding. Naruto and Kakashi made their way to the down Zabuza as he shakingly looked up to the two shinobi who defeated him. Wasn't expecting the Makuten from Yagaki. I got careless cough, Zabuza said. Naruto didn't reply as he lifted his sword to end the Kirinin, but before he could there was a whistle in the air that alarmed both Naruto and Kakashi, but to their surprise whatever it was hit Zabuza and the missing nin fell onto his side, presumably dead. A shinobi appeared, and the shinobi's outfit consisted of the standard Kirigakure pinstriped outfit, which stopped at their knees. Over this, they wore a green haori with white trimmings, and around their waist, a brown sash with a fringed trail wrapped around his waist twice. They had long hair that was tied into a bun and had brown sandals. They also wore a hunter nin mask, which was white with thin, curved eye holes and a red wavy design in place of the mouth, as well as the Kirigakure symbol etched on the top. The Kirinin walked over to Zabuza and checked his pulse before looking over to the duo and said, "Thank you. I've been tracking him for a while now. Thank you for your assistance, Konoha-nin-san. I'll dispose of the body and be going now." The hunter nin bent down and picked up Zabuza before disappearing in a sunshine. Both Naruto and Kakashi sighed in relief before Naruto asked, "Wait, I thought Kiri hunter nins were supposed to dispose of the body where they killed them?" Kakashi looked at his protege and pulled down his Hittite and replied, "They are." Naruto sighed and asked, "So I'm assuming we will be seeing them again?" And received a nod in return. Naruto sighed at that, hoping that it would have been over. They made their way back to the group, and Naruto dispelled the Bushins effectively, ending the barrier. As they were making their way back, the mist started clearing up, and Naruto deactivated his shin wagon. "What the hell, Dobi? I could have helped the two of you. Why did you leave me in the barrier with these two?" Sasuke asked, incredulously narrowing his eyes at his blonde teammate. "The main reason is because if Kakashi and I both died, we could have weakened him enough for you to hold him back so Tazuna had enough time to escape. But don't worry, we all will get another chance to get a crack at him, and he isn't alone." Naruto replied while sheepishly scratching the back of his head. That answer was good enough to put Sasuke at ease and nodded with a smirk. Sakura had a worried look on her face about them having to face an adversary like that again. Tazuna was thankful he was still breathing and was thankful to the Konoha squad, giving him the chance to finish his bridge. "Since that is dealt with, we can head to my house so you all can get some much-needed rest," said Tazuna with an appreciated smile. "How far are we away before we reach your house, Tazuna-san?" asked Kakashi. "About an hour," replied Tazuna and received a nod in return. "Let's continue then before someone else comes and tries to kill us," said Kakashi and received 4 nods in return, and they made their way to Tazuna's house. That's the end, guys. If you enjoyed, then make sure to leave a comment. This is Chaos Shinobi signing off.